What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. We did a poll not too long ago where we asked what was your favorite TV show, and over 40% of you voted for Martin, so we had to do a video.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to pay tribute to DP.
Nothing beats a good sitcom with a nice plot. This is one of the funniest comedies ever. It is timeless and it never gets old.
First man in history who really enjoys women for their conversation alone.
It was the cultural reset we all needed. But what if we told you that there is something more behind all these iconic scenes? Sometimes what you see on screen can happen in real life. Well, maybe not to this extent, not this chaotic and dramatic. But when you look beyond the jokes and puns, you can see episodes filled with life lessons that deserve to be shared. Lessons on how to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on going with a smile on your face. That's exactly what we want to talk about in today's video. We are starting off this list with lesson number 10. Black love exists, but it's not a fairy tale. Today, a lot of people think that love only exists for 70 or 80-year-old couples. You know, the ones we still see holding hands when going for a walk, that sort of thing. Nowadays, every hug has a double meaning, every kiss has a hidden agenda, and every I love you has been passed around like some kind of worthless sentence. Young people are questioning the purpose of marriage. What's the point if it can't last? We see so many broken relationships, so much cheating and toxicity that this has become normal. We see both women and men so love-struck, only to get their hearts broken and give up on love completely. The most common sentence you will hear out there is, why would I be stuck with just one person when there are so many options? Well, love is not lost. The Gina and Martin relationship is not impossible. We just need to understand that love isn't always a fairy tale. But as long as we don't lose sight of what really matters, we can achieve that goal. You see, Martin and Gina are the black love we can believe in. It gives off a best friends, soulmates type of vibe. Now, let me point this out first. Their road was never easy. They had to deal with in-law woes, losing their home, and Martin's pride after figuring out that Gina was the actual breadwinner. To top it all off, Martin and Pam were bickering 24/7. J. Cole made so much sense when he asked this question. What if Gina would have listened to Pam? Well, she didn't. She stayed. He proved to everyone that the relationship doesn't have to be perfect. But if you remain consistent, know when to admit defeat, and are lucky enough, you can find someone who is worth it. We saw their relationship go through the ringer in the breakup part 1. It was Valentine's Day and Gina decided to give Martin a weird gift, the statue of a butt. Pam and Gina saw it as art, but Tommy, Martin, and Cole couldn't see it as anything other than a dance partner for doing the butt. This led to a big fight and Martin and Gina broke up. They thought that their lifestyles and backgrounds were just too different, so they could never make it work. Then, 2 weeks and 2 episodes later, Martin managed to win Gina back, and the gang is as good as new. Now, during the time these two were separated, Martin couldn't handle the thought of sleeping with another woman, not even someone as hot as his latest fling, Nicole. The reason why Martin and Gina stayed together for so long is because they had mutual respect. They both played their parts in the relationship. Gina allowed Martin to be the man in the relationship, and Martin allowed Gina to be feminine, independent, and sexy. There were many times when they were overwhelmed with jealousy and could have cut the cord, but they decided to press on and do the right thing. Like that scene when Mrs. Trinidad was all over Martin. Although he told her over and over again that he was with someone and didn't want to be with her, Gina did catch them in the act and took control of the entire situation. These two always kept the flame going. They showered each other with affection and plenty of time in the bedroom. But not everything went according to plan. Like that time Gina stuck her head in the headboard. It was hilarious. Another one of the best scenes is when Martin is in the ring against Hitman. He wanted to go all in because he realized he was too flirty with his girl. It is safe to say that Martin lost a fight, but he won the war. Gina did show him a lot of love. On today's shows, we can't see a single healthy black relationship, whether it is fictional or real. All we see are broken families and fatherless homes. Rappers sing that girls are not loyal and that their wives know about their side chicks. So it is a welcome sight to see something positive for a change. A black love that is strong and real. One that doesn't degrade or devalue each side. Yes, it was filled with hardships, jokes, puns, and unrealistic chaotic scenarios, but ultimately it did last. Gina and Martin managed to build this strong foundation. They navigated through everything as one. They had the same core values and beliefs. Next on our list, we have lesson number 9, have firm boundaries. Ever had that roommate from hell? You know, the usual, doesn't do the dishes, leaves the apartment in a complete mess, food spilled all over the floor, trash everywhere, that sort of thing. Well, it goes a little something like this. They invite people over all the time, not just their boyfriends or girlfriends, but couch surfers and some random drunk people they can party with. Well, you can't say Martin didn't warn you. Remember that time when Cole got kicked out of his mom's house and moved into Martin's place? Imagine having a roommate like that. It all blew up when Cole's mom interrupted his date with his girlfriend. She demanded he pay back the rent, but because Cole took Martin's advice a bit too literally, he messed it up and ended up on the streets. Since he had nowhere else to go, he moved in with Martin and Gina. But because he was all over the place with his disgusting habits and terrible manners, he drove the couple mad. He even had a party when Gina and Martin went out on a date. The couple was furious and kicked everyone out. Then they confronted Cole about it and kicked him out, but not before lecturing him for everything he has done. Martin even went off script with the facetious comment, and Gina just followed nicely.
Get out of your mother's house. Stop putting your name on the orange juice.
Yeah, that's right.
In this scene, Gina and Martin are acting like two parents. Martin is the laid-back but disappointed father, and Gina is the angry mother going to snap at any moment. And even after all that lecturing, Cole still doesn't understand. Martin said it from the start, respect my house. They clearly told Cole not to bring people over, and he still did it. This scene is another example of how the chemistry between Gina and Martin is unmatched. Gina called Cole's mother, and Cole came to apologize. She forgave him, and he went back home. Right before they left, Cole's mom thought that the mess left behind in Martin's apartment was all Martin's doing, when in fact, it was her son. The lesson here is you have to have firm boundaries, and if someone doesn't respect them, remove them from the situation so you can protect your peace. Coming up next is lesson number 8. There are 3 ways to deal with unemployment. Martin got fired from his job at the New Country radio station. He tried to make ends meet by working odd jobs, but nothing was going the way he thought it would. He was miserable, hopeless, and depressed. So he left Detroit. Because he didn't know how to deal with it, he tried to keep it a secret from Gina. After all, she was doing fine in life. The only thing he did tell her was that he would come back when he found himself. Gina could only contact him via his pager. Eventually, Gina finds out and supports him in his search for a job. Then Martin starts getting picky with all the jobs he can get, how much money he can make, the number of vacations he can take, etc. He was driving himself crazy, which is why Gina suggested he go to the unemployment office. There are plenty of lessons to be learned here, especially when you look at how Martin dealt with the whole situation. There are 3 things we can learn from Martin losing his job. First, it is okay to lean on your support system, and sometimes you have to swallow your pride. But it may take some time, and you might have to do some soul searching. Whoever idea was to braid half of his hair is an absolute genius. Martin had to go on this spiritual journey of transformation. Well, in his case, Martin lost it for a moment when he joined a cult that goes by the name Shaquille Sunflower. They organized secret meetings at the Golden Palace. The cult worshiped Brother Rock and sought to see the light and to get yourself right. After this whole ordeal, we come across the 3rd and final way Martin dealt with losing his job. Eventually, he realized that something better and bigger was on the horizon. He finally had the chance to achieve his dream, his very own show. Well, with a twist, of course. After Martin auditions for a TV job, he realized he had to make an audition tape of himself doing a show. So he got all the gang together and a couple of audience members to make it work. But his antics end up alienating him from everyone, so he ends up becoming an associate producer and gets donuts for the staff every morning. From how things were going, we can see that Martin had a lot of work to do before he could achieve that milestone. But hard work, patience, and consistency always pays off. Besides, if he hadn't been fired, then he never would have found word on the street. So everything that happened to him was basically a blessing in disguise. This brings us to lesson number 7. It's not keeping it real if it's not you. A lot of your friends will be wearing a mask. They won't show you their true face, not until you see them for what they are. That's exactly what happened with Gina and her friend Monique. The 2 of them used to go to school together. So Monique came to Detroit to start promoting her self-help book. She called it So Real. And while Gina was super excited to spend time with her old friend, everyone else thought Monique was giving off bad vibes. There was something off about this girl that they couldn't quite put the finger on it. Then she started antagonizing Martin and Pamela James. She belittles his talk show and flirts with Pam's boyfriend in front of everyone. Even though this is happening, Gina still can't see Monique's true face. She thinks that Martin will eventually accept her. But as time went on, Monique became harder to deal with. She annoys everyone to their core, which is why Martin and Pam band together to get rid of her once and for all. You know it's getting serious when Martin and Pam team up. They hate and roast each other to oblivion, but then turn loyal when they want to take Monique down. Monique was invited to become a guest on Martin's show. Here she claimed she was authentic and was a devoted vegan. But Martin said everything that came out of her mouth was a lie. He took out a photo of Monique eating ribs at a restaurant. It's obvious she has a lot in common with social media influencers today. Then more evidence comes to light after a photo of Monique giving money to charity was shown. Another proof showed that Monique took money for sexual favors. Monique tried her best to bury the claims. The second the show cut to a commercial, she criticized both Gina and Martin, but Gina had enough of it. So she took a stand and defended her man. Monique left the set completely humiliated. In reality, we can see a lot of people hiding behind a mask to build their own persona. They worry so much about their reputation that they will do whatever it takes to keep up with their perfect character. They care too much about what others think, so they will try their best to fit in or be cool. But unfortunately, many of these people lose their own personality in the process. It is hard to see right through the mask when you've known someone for so long. But it is definitely refreshing to see how Gina was able to process that information, learn from it, and take a stand. She is a strong woman with a very kind heart. During the entire series, she never went against her beliefs, morals, and values. This is what made her so unique. Coming up next is lesson number 6. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. If there is one dream that I bet thousands of people share, it is winning the lottery one day. There is nothing better than someone handing you $1 million. It feels like the universe is giving you a green flag. Of course, we've seen plenty of people who couldn't handle their winnings. They burned through their prizes in a couple of years, only to end up broke again. Still, people would go to great lengths just to feel like a winner again. This is exactly why the lotto and gambling can become a lethal weapon. In season 3, episode 9, Martin won the lottery. But as soon as he saw the ticket, he went on a spending spree. He bought a ton of expensive stuff and gave cash away to his friends. All of this before he even picked up the winnings. And when he finally goes to collect his payment, he finds out that the ticket has been split in 300 ways. The lesson here is, don't spend money you anticipate earning if you haven't earned it yet. Don't spend money before it clears the bank like a credit card. Otherwise, you will get in trouble really fast. The thing is, a lot of us are buying things we can't afford. We have so many credit cards and so much debt. It is part of our culture to define ourselves with material things. Stuff like clothes, cars, watches, jewelry, and cell phones. They are all status symbols. We've all been brought up in a culture of consumerism. There is this constant need to buy more and have more, have the best and brightest of everything, so we end up buying all the latest trends. But sometimes all these chicken eggs will fail to hatch. If that happens, you will end up with nothing. The only way for you to know exactly how many chickens you have is to wait until they've hatched. This is something you can apply to all aspects of life. You have to have a backup plan for everything. You see, life is unpredictable. We live in a world of instant gratification. So the second we think we've landed on a lot of money, the first thing we are going to do is overindulge. It is human nature. But there will be consequences. We have to establish a healthy balance between realism and hope. We need to calculate our expenses, plan for the future, and put some of that money aside so that we can use it to achieve bigger hopes and dreams. Instant gratification may feel good at the beginning, but it is not worth it in the long run. We should value what we got and then use it for whatever is necessary. This brings us to lesson number 5. Rise above racial discrimination. How many interracial couples do you know that have had some unpredictable problems? For example, if racism is an everyday reality in one person's life and not in the other, it takes a lot of work and some serious effort for both of them to understand each other. That's because everyone sees life through a completely different lens and experiences. Some people are going to make assumptions and judgments based on the color of your skin and your accent. Every time someone treats you badly, it ruins your day. For those who've never experienced any of that, it can be hard to understand. In season 1, episode 4, the gang is playing a card game called The Book of Questions. When Gina asks Martin if he would date someone who was 40 pounds overweight, he says no, he has to breathe.
Would you date someone who was 40 pounds overweight?
Nah. I got to breathe, baby.
Pam added as long as 20 of it was in his wallet, she was good to go.
I would, as long as 20 of it was in his wallet.
Cole answered that if she is overweight, then she knows how to cook. Then as the game continues, Gina asked another question. Would you date someone who was of a different race than yourself?
Someone who was of a different race than yourself.
It don't matter what race she is. We all black when the lights go out.
Cole said it doesn't matter what race she is. He said we all black when the lights go out. Sure, it is a simple joke, but sometimes it can cut through the noise and deliver a powerful message. He is right, you see. Deep down beyond the color of our skin, we all share a common ground. We cry, laugh, and experience life's ups and downs in our own way. There is something profound in what he's saying. When the lights go out, all those superficial differences disappear. We're left with what truly matters. Our hearts, our minds, our souls. Think about it. When you're getting to know someone in the dark, literally or metaphorically, you're not focused on the color of their skin. You are getting to know them for who they are, all their flaws and imperfections. Unfortunately, no society will ever truly be rid of prejudice and racism. Of course, there is room for improvement, and in time, it's possible to create a comfortable environment where people can feel a sense of belonging. This brings us to lesson number 4. There is power in collaboration. This sitcom was more than just a show. It was part of our reality, a nostalgic journey that still resonates today. In every episode, we see Martin, Gina, and their gang, Tommy, Pam, and Cole, go through everything together. Take, for example, that time Martin lost his job. Yes, it broke him, but even though he was going through it, everyone was there for him. His friends rallied, each offering their perspectives in their own way. Gina offered him practical advice and constant support, anything to get him back on his feet. Tommy has been his best friend since childhood. He is self-confident and always has something smart to say. In fact, Tommy's is the best long-running joke ever on TV. Tommy, you ain't got no job. He was really the glue that kept the group together, always trying to be the voice of reason and keep the peace.
Brother, man. Man, come on, man. You know you ain't got no job, man. Come on.
Pam's sass keeps Martin grounded, and Cole is here to lighten the mood. Together, they make one hell of a team. With their help, Martin is able to regain his confidence and keep looking for new opportunities. When a serious problem comes in the way, they can set their differences aside and work together to achieve a common goal. The show taught us that we are stronger and better if we stick together. There is power in collaboration. When we surround ourselves with the right people, we can make all the difference in achieving success. In the world of AI, collaboration is even more important. Look at it this way. Collaboration brings many benefits in different settings, whether in your personal life, education, business, research, or anything else. Collaboration brings people together with different experiences, skills, and backgrounds. These ideas can create innovative solutions, boost creativity, and help people develop individually. With collaboration, people can achieve high-level success that brings meaningful benefits, improves workflow, productivity, efficiency, and so on. Spend time with people who talk about their dreams, goals, and ambitions, not those who constantly complain about their partners or gossip about everyone they meet, even their best friends. The truth is, if we only surround ourselves with people who drain and devalue us, we are never going to succeed. They will just waste your time and energy. So focus on building yourself from the ground up and pick only the people who wish the best for you. Coming up at lesson number 3, we have never take yourself too seriously. Let's face it, everyone has problems. It might be something small like a bad grade or losing your favorite headphones. The next day, it can turn into something huge, like losing a loved one. These problems don't define us, but the human mind can control us. You see, when we let depression, sorrow, guilt, hate, anxiety, and tension override us, we create this mental prison that makes it difficult to run away from. It is hard to deny it. Everyone has suffered one way or another. But when we laugh or even make the slightest smile, you can see a crack forming on that prison. You can see the tension lifting and a sort of ease coming right at you. Whenever something good happens in your life, use it, let it in. If you can crack jokes often, then rely on it. If you can surround yourself with people with an excellent sense of humor, even better. That's because good times can give you more reasons to laugh about and a better weapon to crack that mental prison. The more you laugh, the easier it becomes to deal with your problems. Even for a split second, there will be dopamine coursing through your veins, giving you an immense sense of security, comfort, and pleasure. It's the goodness in all of us that lets us enjoy the simple things in life. Every character in Martin's show has been specifically designed to make people laugh, to remind us not to take ourselves or life too seriously. We will be facing a lot of ups and downs, just like Martin, Gina, and the rest of the gang. But that doesn't mean we should give up. Instead, we need to maintain a good sense of humor so that we can boost our resilience and perspective. Because for a lot of people, laughter is reassurance. Whenever something bad happens, you can keep yourself sane by laughing and having a good time with the people you love. But if you focus only on the bad side, it is hard to release that stress and work towards your goals. When you laugh and enjoy your day, you are less likely to slip on your path to recovery. You are more likely to find the strength to press on. So laugh about anything and everything, no matter how stupid or hard it may be. This is freedom. Freedom of the mind, body, and soul. Freedom to feel peace and calm. It is refreshing and truly wonderful. Coming up next, we have lesson number 2. Learn how to balance work and play. Gina is the perfect example of this. She is a hard-working businesswoman with a master's degree in public relations. She is making a lot of money and is dedicated to her career, but she is also a die-hard, loyal girlfriend and later a wife to Martin. Now, as you already know, Martin is a wild boy, the complete opposite of Gina. In every scene, you can see that Gina is a highly developed character with a lot of complex layers. On one side, she is sophisticated and sweet, and on the other, when someone provokes her, you can see the hood side coming out of her. She has absorbed Martin's funny traits and can literally go toe-to-toe with him when they want to roast some people. She can be both playful and loving. But when the time comes, she is not afraid to stand her ground. One of the best moments on this show is when Gina goes nuts in pure joy when she finds out that Martin's best friend and worst enemy started sleeping together. She stole the whole scene with all her instigating and trolling. The lesson here is we too should be able to blend comedy with real-life drama. We should strive for balance in our lives and remember to take it easy sometimes. Because when we maintain that balance, we are able to lead a more fulfilling life. Especially in today's age when most of us, if not everyone, is living a fast-paced life. Gina is also relentlessly curious, which is another worthy trait of hers. She can explore new ideas and push boundaries. We should all be able to embrace our curiosity, as this is often the key to personal growth and innovation. Curiosity and the willingness to challenge assumptions can help set us apart from everyone else. And now, on to the final lesson. This is lesson number 1. Make every moment count. Think about the time Martin and Gina went on a romantic vacation, only to be attacked by an island rodent. It looks quite like a real-life New York rat. It was supposed to be their anniversary, and because Gina was envious when Pam and Tommy started planning their 6-month anniversary, she wanted a luxury event of her own. So she got Martin to do something special. So he did. He took her to Chilligan's Island. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong. It is some low-rate, dreadful place with terrible service, and all their plans are starting to fall apart. But instead of letting it ruin their date and start fighting about it, they find humor in the chaos. They even run into Pam and Tommy, who also seem to be spending their time at the same resort. So even if nothing went according to plan, the time spent with the people you love should mean the world to you. It is what we make of it, and we can only truly enjoy things when we make every moment count. Then we have the camping trip. Gina and Martin look forward to it, but Pam sprains her ankle and Martin has to help her out. Then the fun getaway turns into a series of complete disasters. The gang faces one problem after another, but they stick together through it all. They make each moment count. Life is a collection of experiences, each a fleeting moment. When we are fully present in the moment and embrace these opportunities with joy, passion, and enthusiasm, we too can treasure them. We can treasure the people around us and recognize the worth in even the smallest bit of change. As you can see, Martin is more than just a TV series. It is a source of happiness and positivity. It is something you can watch and rewatch 1,000 times, and still you can learn something new every day. What did you guys think about these life lessons? Did you notice them the first time you watched the show? Or is there another lesson you would like to add? Share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, check out the breakdown we did on the hidden warnings of the movie Get Out. It's one of our most popular videos on the channel, and I'm sure you'll get value from it. Click on it now to watch. We'll see you over there.